So we are now, today, we are going to have a session where we will be completing the chapter on self-going and into the song of self, which reflects the experiences of Siddhas towards self-realization. With this, I will now hand over to Anurag sir to begin today's session. Sir.
Thank you, Hardik ji. Namaste, a very warm welcome to everyone in this October session of the Tatvabodha Body, Mind and Intellect. Very happy to welcome you. This month we are doing the session on a third Sunday due to schedule mismatch and all. So sorry about that, but thank you for your patience and thank you for your presence today. Let us start the session with the prayer. Sahana vavatu Sahano bhunaktu Sahaviryam karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Seated in the divine presence of the Masters, I once again welcome you all. We have been doing a journey for last more than a year, and in the last couple of months, our focus is on the topic, the self, where we are trying to understand something which is not describable, which the scriptures have termed, which is eternal, infinite, which is beyond the words, beyond the thoughts, beyond the understanding, indescribable thing. And we are trying to understand that. And this, I would say, only can happen with the grace of the God. Whatever we have understood, try to understood on this subject. And today we are touching the last section of this chapter, where it is the song of the self. So, song of the self is like we sing song in the praise of somebody, right? Praising somebody, praising something is again a nature of human being. It's a quality of human being. In Hindi, we call it as aartis, right? We do the aartis, we praise the Lord, we praise the deities in order to please the deities that way. We express our gratitude when we are praising the deities, when we are singing the song or the aarti. It is also called as stuti in Sanskrit, where you are praising the Lord. People also in our life, sometimes we don't praise also, although things are there, but we are not able to express gratitude. That's because there our ego comes into the way of it. Some people, they praise, but they don't praise from the heart. Okay, they just praise for the sake of praising the things. Sake of expressing gratitude only, they do that. That is the fake personality, or just the outer part of the personality. Okay, so ego plays a role in our day-to-day life, and these things happen. Sometimes we are very jealous of somebody, right? So we just praise if we are jealous of somebody, the praise will be weak. Or if under the influence of some attachment, our praising changes. Okay. We become happy if we are praising somebody we like. Like if we have to praise for our loved one, like for our children, we become happy because that gives us happiness. Okay. And sometimes people whom we dislike, we don't praise. So attachment is working in both the areas, with our likes and with to our dislikes, as we have already discussed in one of the lectures about that. So here we are talking about praising the self, which is our true nature of every human being. Okay. Beyond ego, beyond everything, beyond any kind of impurities, beyond any kind of matter, that self, which is radiating eternal infinite bliss, we should be praising it all the time. Okay. So this praise, what we are going to, the Song of Self, which we are going to discuss today, is coming from the Siddha tradition, where the experiences have been written in the form of poetry, in the form of praise. We will go through each of these things, and then we will throw some light on those experiences. We have already touched upon quite a few in our earlier lectures, but all this what we have discussed is coming tied up in a very beautifully in this form of a poetry. And when you are praising the Lord, praising the self, it helps develops the positive thinking, positive mind over there. We have talked about Ayam Atma Brahm. Okay, this self is the Brahm. That is what we are doing, Song of the Self. This self is the Brahm. We are reminding ourselves every time that you are the Brahm. This self is the Brahm. This self is the Brahm. And in that thing, this Song of Self, every day we should sing to remind, to train our mind that this self is the Brahm. Nothing less than that, nothing else. Rest everything is mithya. This self is the only truth, and it is the Brahm. And you are that only. Tat Tvamasi, the four aphorisms, the four Mahavakyas that we have spoken. Pragyanam Brahm, Tat Tvamasi, Ayam Atma Brahm, and then Aham Brahmasmi. So before I get into the explanation of each of these, let us enjoy this song first. I will play it. It is about for 3 to 4 minutes. Let's listen to it. Maybe you have listened to it earlier also, some of you. But if you have not, I'll play it, and then we can start discussing on each of the verses of it. बंधु करुणा सागर पूर्ण उजागर तारक भव सिंधु प्राणापाने सोहम सूत्रे काया वाणी मने त्रिगुणताटी प्रसाद अर्पण केला से सुमने सिंहासन लख लख रंग रंग भरिले चिन्मय मूर्ति ध्यान गुरुंचे सोज्वळ मनी धरिले श्रवण पठन या प्रदक्षिणेने गुरुवरदेश्वरीला निज ध्यासीता ज्ञान दीपाचा प्रकाश संचरला अनुहत वेणू शंख झांजरी घागरी आवाजे मृदंग वीणा टाळ नगारा गगनांबरी गाजे गीता मंत्र पुष्पांजली वाहू गुरुपद अरविंदा प्रसाद तीर्था सिंधु सेवुनी पावे आनंदा सचित आनंदात्मा रामा सुख कंदा जय देवा जय ब्रह्म स्वरूपा श्री सद्गुरुनाथा आरती ओ वायुनि तव चरणी देवित से माथा आरती ओ वायुनि तव चरणी देवित से माथा आरती ओ वायुनि तव चरणी देवित से माथा Arati we do every day in our day-to-day rituals, that is praising. Arati means is a mechanism, or it's a medium of surrender. Arati means you are everything, I am nothing. That is the essence of Arati. To the Lord whom you are praising, that you are everything. Everything which is happening here in this world, something which is taking life, something which is maintaining the life, something which is transforming the life. Everything is happening because of that presence of that infinite, eternal Tattva. And that is everything. Rest, everything is mithya. That is the basis of Arati that helps in developing more and more humbleness, humility. I am nothing. Constantly reminding, I am nothing. But due to ignorance, what happens? I am everything. Man thinks I am everything. I know everything. I, me, my. In this, the whole life is spent. And then this golden opportunity, which we have got in the form of human being, this gets lost. Okay. So this aratis, the rituals which have been made in part of our tradition, every tradition it is there. These are given as a mechanism to remove our impurities and develop some egolessness inside us. And that helps us progress towards the goal which we all carry. Okay. So that's how the Aarti starts. Sat Chetananda Atma Rama Sukhakanda Jai Deva Jai Dev Brahma Sarupa Sri Sadguru Natha Arati Ovalini Tavacharani Thevit Semata. So Sat Chit Anand is the Sarup of this Brahm. Sat means existence, Chit means consciousness, and Anand means that bliss. So existence, consciousness, bliss is the nature of the Brahm, nature of the self, which is there. So I am surrendering myself. This, it starts with saying, I surrender to that Brahm, to that eternal infinite bliss, which is existence, consciousness, bliss. I surrender myself to that, into the lotus feet of the preceptor, my Sadguru. That's how this whole poetry starts, with that kind of attitude of surrendering. This attitude of surrender is very important, and it has been one of the six ornamental qualities which are defined in the Sadhan Chatushtaya also. Okay. Shraddha, Samarpan, these things. Okay. In that form. This is the quality of a seeker, quality of the student. चंद्र मंडलांतर्गत निर्मल ब्रह्म रंध्र भुवनी 21 स्वर्गावर्ती आसन साजे कुंजवनी. So what Siddha is saying over here in a very poetic form, that Brahma, that supreme master, whose healing touch of pure compassion destroys the evil within me, whose grace has the power to liberate me from the bondage of body, mind, and intellect. His abode is beyond the 21st heaven in the third eye chakra, where I experience his sublime existence. So this is an inward journey. This whole self is the concept which is inside. It is not outside. You can't find it. You can only, when you turn your mind, your senses, withdraw it from the external terrestrial world, this self can be experienced only that after the 21 heavens. So the 21 heavens is referring to the stages of personalities. We discussed this in just one of the lectures a couple of months back, the different stages of personality a sadhak goes through, a student goes through on this path of inner development. Okay, so total 25 stages, but the last 4 stages are considered as one by Sri Madhvashram Swami, who has written this particular poetry, Brahm. And then Brahm has been further divided in the 25 stages chart, what we had discussed. So you see the top 20 are the stages, and the 21st is the Brahm, and all Parabrahm, Alak Niranjan, Paramatma, Parat Paramatma, all is considered as one stage by Madhvashram Swami. So that's how he's talking about 21 stages you cross, and then you get this state of Brahma. You realize this Brahma slowly, gradually, but surely on this path of development. Of course, a guru is required on this path, because a sadhak doesn't know which stage he is going through. Only guru can understand. Guru who has already achieved that state, somebody who has already walked on that path, only knows what is the state of the sadhak. So that is why the guru's significance and importance is so much in this whole journey, which is there. It is almost impossible to go alone on this path. You will need guidance. You will need a preceptor, a guide who will walk you through this. सहस्त्रदल पंकजी विराजित गुम्फे माझारी अतसी कुसुम समकांति झलके शुक्लांबरधारी. So here Sahastradal Pankaji Viraji, the crown from the third eye chakra, there the third eye opens. Third eye here means the subtle intellect develops, the eye of the knowledge. There are many misconceptions, misunderstandings about the third eye. People read different scriptures and it has been explained in different words, and it has been interpreted also in a different ways. Okay, so third eye means the eye which gives you the vision of unseen, something which can't be seen, something which can't be experienced by the five senses, something which is beyond that. So that's the third eye chakra. When a sadhak reaches at that level of consciousness, uh, you see this abode, you see the self which is like blossoming on a 1,000-petal lotus, which is what is called as the crown chakra. Okay, so it's like a cave. Somebody is going into the cave and just keep going. Even in the temples in the south, you would see that the statue of the Lord is placed very deep uh, inside the temple. There will be three sections in the temple, and in the end, the statue of the Lord is placed in the last one in there, and the light will be glowing over there. Okay, so it's like you are going in a tunnel of ignorance, and then you cross these different layers, different koshas. Here, you get the Anandamay kosha, which is the kosha of bliss, and we have discussed Panch koshas also in very detail. So whatever we have discussed so far in our the journey, all that is now coming wrapped in the form of experiences, in the form of poetry, what the Siddhas are telling over. So transcending the illusions of body, mind, and intellect. Okay, so that the three sections which I told in the temple are transcending the three layers of this matter: body, mind, and intellect. You find the seat of the God. You find the seat of the Brahm, whom you are praising. So in the temples are just the reflection of what is there inside. They are just the reflections, uh, portrayal of what the experiences of these enlightened sages. So transcending these illusions of body, mind, and intellect, whose throne is located in the God's abode. And above the third eye, that appears like a 1,000-petal lotus. That supreme master is pure, infinite, and ubiquitous like sky, and rooted in the Brahma. His radiating grace and glow is like that of a fully blossomed flower of eternal infinite bliss. Okay, so this is just telling you, this particular prose is telling you the address of the Brahm, address where you can find the Lord, where you can meet, where you can unite, where you will find the answer to the question that you have been carrying for many births. The question whose to get the answer, you take birth every time, but you forget the purpose of the life. And in the lack of the guidance of available guidance, you continue your life in a very common way, and not able to reach the goal. Okay, so Siddhas are telling us where to find the goal of your life through this particular place. Shat chakaranche dev vandile tirthatan zhale. These terms are a little bit Maharashtrian, because the Siddhas are normally this parampara. The Siddhas have uh, taken place in this belt of India, western and southern belt. So some of them are in the state of Maharashtra, some in the state of Karnataka, Andhra, and Tamil Nadu has been a known for Siddhas and all, right? So you will see some Marathi regional terms coming into this. Shat chakranche deva vandile tirthatan zhale द्विदल पंढरपुरी sadguru pahuni mandhale. So what does it means? In my quest for knowledge of the self, I undertake an inward pilgrimage to apprehend the unknown from known by meditating upon self. We all do some sort of pilgrimage in different phases of our life. Okay, pilgrimage is considered as one of the important thing, right? In every traditions. Okay, whether it is Christians, they have their own places where they make pilgrimage. People who follow Islam, they do their own pilgrimages. Hindus do their pilgrimages. So there is a lot of significance of doing the pilgrimage. But what Siddhas are telling, the biggest pilgrimage you can do, the highest pilgrimage one can do is this inner pilgrimage. This path is within. And you can traverse this path and reach to the goal, moksha, which you are, which is the goal of your life. Outside, you can go like a tourist. Outside pilgrimages, normally you go like a tourist. You will see the temple. And today, many places we see that, they are not properly maintained also. They are very crowded also. Several incidents of stampede, other things happen over there. But the real pilgrimage one can take is the inner pilgrimage. It will not cost you money and other resources. All you need is a 2x2 space or a 3x3 space, and sit and then do this pilgrimage. And you will be guided by the masters, whether in the physical form or in the astral form, you can do that. Okay. So en route this journey, blessed by the deities. Deities means the divine qualities. Nature is everything is treated as a deity. One who gives is a deity. So without the support of deities, you cannot move forward. These 5 elements are deities: earth, water, fire. These are all deities. Trees, everything is a deity. They give. Nature gives you. Nature gives you that knowledge. So nature is the supreme guru over here. Okay, it is giving you the knowledge. It is giving you the path. It is taking you. Everything is happening by the nature. Nothing is that which is in your control in this thing. Okay. That's how when the surrender happens, when the devotion happens, this particular thought strengthens in the minds of the seeker. So en route this journey, blessed by the deities. The deities are the divine qualities which are associated with each of these chakras. When each of the chakras you reach, it's like a milestone to that particular journey. You receive some sort of siddhis. Okay, siddhis on that. Some powers, they awaken. This human body is full of infinite potential, infinite power. Nothing is miracle. Since our buddhi does not work over there, everything we consider as miracle. But something which comes into the purview of this buddhi, then it becomes a phenomena, it becomes a knowledge, it becomes science for the person who is experiencing all that. So Siddha says that everything inside you is a phenomena. It's a nature which is acting inside you. Okay. So from root chakra to the third eye chakra, these 6 stations which the sadhak has to cover. And then at every station, there is a deity who is giving you the siddhis, who is giving you the knowledge, and who is giving you the will to move to the next station, to go to the next station, to go to the next chakra which is there. Okay? Before eventually you get the glimpse of the Supreme Master where your mind surrenders completely. Okay, where your mind is completely surrenders that way. Not a single desire is left inside you. The final desire which you are carrying, the desire for the God, that last desire also drops eventually. And then there is this infinite eternity, Brahm, you realize over there, your true nature. As long as desires are there, so desires are acting as a wall between the Brahma, your true nature, and the other things, between the truth and the mithya, between the Brahma and the Maya. These desires are the barriers, and sadhak is required to exhaust these desires, because each desire, as we have seen, gives rise to action, and this law of karma, action gives rise again to the desire. This cycle continues. So eventually the sadhak breaks this cycle by exhausting all the desires. Okay. Desires end up give you some results. Each desire will have an ending. It could be a happy ending and it could be a not so happy ending. Either it will get fulfilled or it will not get fulfilled. So if it does not get fulfilled, it is not a happy ending. You don't feel good. Okay. You suffer, you go through some sorrows when your desires are unfulfilled. But when it is fulfilled, you enjoy that. You enjoy the pleasure which it gives you. Your mind enjoys that. So everything is happening in the state of the mind. And once this mind surrenders, gone, there is no desire, nothing. What remains is only Satya, truth, eternal, infinite, bliss, that is Brahman. So the Ayam Atma Brahm turns into Aham Brahmasmi. At third eye chakra, you realize your true nature. So Ayam Atma Brahm, Ayam Atma Brahm. Finally, eventually, you realize what Brihadaranyaka Upanishad is telling. Oh, I am the Brahm. I am the Brahm. I am this self. I am the Brahm. That state appears. Aham Brahmasmi. Now, Satrup, Chitrup, Anand Atma, Sajjana Deen Bandhu, Karuna Sagar, Purna Ujagar, Tarak Bhav Sindhu. Now the qualities are being defined at this stage. Quality, that human qualities which develop, which are naturally present in every human being, in the very, very purest and unconditional form. This oneness with the Supreme Consciousness purifies my heart. It purifies my heart to a level that which is the fountainhead of evolution of pure and pious human qualities. What are these qualities? Peace, compassion, benevolence, empathy, non-violence, unconditional love. This is the nature of human. What you can define in one word is as humanity. Humanity is the identity of the human beings. It is your true nature. So humanity is the quality of which you say it is there. Although Brahm is beyond the gunas, but its rays, okay, the effect of that Brahm you can see in the form of pure qualities. We have discussed this in one of our lectures also. This universal eternal religion of humanism liberates me from the bondage of the worldly desires. So what was appearing as a sea of sorrows before I reached this stage, I was carrying worldly desires. And this appeared like a bhavasagar. Sagar we say, right? Bhavasagar, sometimes it is also referred to as sagar full of sorrows, because life gives sorrows also. They are part of the life. So this ocean of sorrows suddenly turns into the ocean of compassion, Karuna Sagar. From Bhava Sagar appears as the Karuna Sagar. Okay. So See the transformation, wonderful transformation, how the perspective is now completely changed after the realization of the self. The sadhak goes through tremendous transformation over here. Now the key, how to get there. Siddha is talking about the key for that. The qualities, the address has been defined. The qualities of the Brahm has been defined. Now the Siddha is telling us what is the key you need, how you can go there. Okay. Such a compassionate heart the enlightened people are. They are full of karuna. They want everyone to reach to that level. They want everyone to come out of this cycle of suffering and realize such a intense thing is there. Like you see a cow, when the cow uh, delivers a baby, right? The milk starts to flow, and cow becomes restless until its calf has taken that milk. The same is the nature of the gurus, the enlightened people. The knowledge in the form of milk is flowing, and they want their shishyas, their disciples, the people, common people like you and me, to take that knowledge and also achieve that level of greatness. So the key which Siddhas are giving here is prana pane soham sutre. Sutra they are giving. Kaya vani mane trigun tati prasad arpan kailase sum. Elated and exalted by the divine vibrations of Soham. Soham is the continuous sound of the breath. Each and every part of your body is breathing. It is not just the nose which is breathing. Each and every cell is breathing. Breathing means input, output is going on. You take a cell, you take an atom, this nature, this particular thing is functioning everywhere. And that's how the vibration is there. So Soham is that mantra. Soham is that sutra which is running in each and every cell of your body. That's Soham Nad. So exalted and elated by this Nad of Soham, which is emanating from the inner breathing of the Shabda Pranayam. Shabda is the sound, Pranayam is the breathing, prana. Inner breathing means every cell is breathing. Every matter part which is there inside you is doing this process of breathing. Expansion, contraction, expansion, contraction. When input comes, expand. When output goes, contract. This is the indicator of the life, isn't it? Your heart goes like this, beats. Your lungs are going expand, contract. It gives you life. This is a indicator of the life. Inner breathing of Shabda Pranayama that lifts me beyond the conditioned states of my body, mind, and intellect. So riding on these vibrations, I cross these conditioned states which appear to be truth, but in fact, they are not truth. These conditioned states are matter which go through the process of birth, life, maintenance, and transformation. So I transcend these conditioned states into that unconditioned states, which is responsible for these conditioned states. I get free from the effect of the three gunas. So if you see the sequence of the creation, Brahm, three gunas, five elements, panch pranas, like that the process of evolution happens. So I go beyond the three gunas of sattva, raj, and tamas in that state of unconditioned. Sattva, raj gunas give the condition to any particular state. We discussed this when we were talking about Maya. When we were trying to understand Maya, we understood these three forces, three temperaments, sattva, raj, and tamas. We go beyond that, riding on this vibration of Soham, Nad, okay, and the Pranapan Kriyas. रत्न जड़ित सिंहासन लख लख रंग रंग भरिले चिन्मय मूर्ति ध्यान गुरुंचे सोज्वल मणि धरिले seated on the pinnacle of righteousness adorned by the ornaments of greatest of qualities shining in the fluorescent light of eternal bliss. That supreme consciousness manifests in my mind and then it enlightens me completely. So when you travel this path on this sutra, the buddhi starts to develop. Man goes into the buddhi. Man surrenders, mind surrenders, and what remains there is the buddhi. You reach the highest level of your intellect, where you are able to get the clarity that what is mithya and what is satya, what is false and what is truth. Brahma Satya, Jagat Mithya, you are able to discriminate. You get that level of vivek, that sadhan chatushya, that Shankaracharya is talking about the qualities of the student. That level of vivek, sad vivek, develops. Okay, and it is all prosperous. Ratna means gems. We run behind the gems which are outside. Throughout the life, we keep chasing and accumulating the precious things which are around us. But that is all temporary. Here, the real gem you find, which gives you a total prosperity, okay, full of colors. This Chetana is represented as a light, white light, which is there, which consumes, covers all the millions of colors. They are inside it. So it is all again poetic form, and we are trying to understand how they are trying to describe the indescribable, also giving the path to achieve that stage. श्रवण पठन या प्रदक्षिणेने गुरुवर देश्वरीला निज ध्यासीता ज्ञान दीपाचा प्रकाश संचर. So one more practice Siddha is telling what you have to do to reach there. Of course, pranapan, soham is there, but Shravan, Manan, and Nijadhyasan. These three processes are very methodical, very structured way of your studies of yourself, knowing the self. Shravan, you are removing the first layer of the ignorance by gathering the information, by sitting in the company of the Guru and receiving the satsang of the Guru, what the knowledge which Guru is imparting on that. So you are trying to receive that information. Manan, you are digesting that information, which removes the second layer of the ignorance. Manan, digesting, understanding what you have listened, and now you are interconnecting with whatever you have known so far. You are connecting this new knowledge with whatever you have known and trying to expand the sphere of that knowledge. That is the process of manana. And then comes the nijadhyasana, that is, you are experiencing that. So whatever Guru has told, the Guru Praman is there, right? The proof what Guru has given. And then Shastra Praman, what scripture is telling, and your own Praman, what you have experienced yourself. These three Pramans, when they match, that means you have really got that knowledge. That is you are on that path, right path. Guru Praman, Shastra Praman, and your self Praman, Anubhav, your own experience. These three you validate with that. So by continuous process of listening, reading, reflecting, and meditating. Meditating here means experiencing. Meditating is not literal word of just sitting and closing the eyes. It is experiencing that. Okay. Upon the divine knowledge of the Supreme Master, the light of wisdom manifests in my being and guides my intellect with positive thoughts of the ultimate reality. So yeah, now this one is just very fresh. In the last lecture, we talked about the Dashnath. Anuhat Venu Shank Jhanjari Ghagariya Baje Mridanga Veena Tal Nagada Gaganambari Gaj. So again, the stages of personality are defined by the sound, the Antarnath. There is a vibrations which are inside. There is a sound which is continuously running in the different layers of the inner cores. And this sound changes as your awareness is going from one state to the other state. The sound also kind of changes. And in the last very recent, the last month lecture, we talked about the Dashnath, what you see here. Same is now, the Siddha is also kind of giving as a Guru Praman. We saw that it is given in the Hansa Upanishad, what we discussed, the Dashnath. Here, Guru Praman is coming, what Guru is telling. Okay. You see the different instruments over here. These different instrument sounds you see, you listen in the form of Antarnath as you are crossing. Okay. That tells you which stage you are in, where you are reaching. So that is a kind of verification, validation for the sadhaka. Initially, it starts with the sound of the cricket insect, what we heard in the Dashnath, and then it goes on changing. Gita mantra pushpanjali bahu gurupad arvinda prasada tirtha sindhu sevuni pave ananda. Now this is where the Guru says that the divine knowledge of self is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is nothing but just Vedant Darshan, part of Vedant Darshan only. Vedant, which is considered as the highest authority or highest authority in the darshans which are there. Okay. So this divine knowledge of self is the essence of Bhagavad Gita, which uplifts the seeker's personality from the materialistic muddle and transforms it into a sacred lotus flower. So the quality of a lotus flower, we know it grows in the filth, but it doesn't allow that filth to affect it. That vairagya, which is there, the detachment which develops. So earlier we spoke about Vivek. Now we are talking about the another quality described in the Sadhan Chatushta, which is Vairagya. Even the leaves of the lotus, you put the drop of the water will look like a pearl. It will not stick to it. It will move like a pearl and eventually fall. Leaf will remain untouched by the water. So whether it is the water coming from the down, which is filled, or water which is coming from the up, nothing it remains attached to. It remains detached. That is how the Arvinda part it is telling, lotus. In the same way, the seeker, upon realization of the self, spreads the fragrance of this supreme knowledge without getting afflicted by the worldly attachments. This divine knowledge of truth is like stream of the sacred water, which purifies the mind, makes it pious, and submits the seeker into the ocean of the infinite bliss. Okay, so the sadhak realizes Bhagavad Gita. Nij dhyasan of Bhagavad Gita takes place. So Bhagavad Gita in the book is the Shastra Praman. Here he is realizing that Bhagavad Gita inside self, what the core of Gita is, Bhagavad Gita is talking about. That's how Guru is taking that example over, defining that state. Okay, so very beautiful poetry, gives everything you know in the few verses. The whole journey has been described here. Okay, so what you see here is a bird's eye view of Maya to Brahm, unreal to real. Asato ma satgamaya, that is the desire when we do the Upanishad, again it is given in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, this particular prayer, Asato ma sadgamaya, tamso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityor ma amritam gamaya. There was some Western philosopher which was there. He had done a lot of work in philosophy and he has written a lot of books. But he said once, these 3 lines you give me, I am ready to give my entire life's research, whatever I have done, stands nothing in front of these 3 particular mantras which the Upanishad are telling. Asato ma sadgamaya, tamso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityur ma amritam. Just in 3 lines, they have given everything. All my research, all my efforts stand nothing in front of that. So you see the authority which the Vedanta, these Upanishads and all have got by the scholars who have given that. So what you see here is the 3 sections. First section is the terrestrial section, which is the field of Maya, where we live in the influence of under the influence of the ignorance. It is a field of experience. There is an object, there is a subject. So it's a state of duality which is there. There is an object, there is a subject. When object and subject combine, they come in touch with each other, the experience takes place. Okay, you get some experience, pain, pleasure, that becomes the part of life which you store. And then that's how the one life after the other life process works. Ego, vasanas, under the effect of all these things, the life goes on. This is the state of Jivatma. We say that this is the Jivatma. We are living as Jivatma. There is a Karta Bhav is this there. I am doing it. Because of the ego, whatever you are doing, you associate that I am doing it. That part is there. Okay. And when you think that this Karta Bhav is there, you are the bearer of the result also. If you have done it, take the result of it, whether it is good or whether it is bad, it will come to you. You have to bear it. Okay. So that Karta Bhav, Doer Bhav is there. Duality is there. This whole diversity, what you see in the terrestrial world, everything looks diverse, separated from each other. Okay. And we live life in this diversity, thinking everything is separate. I am different, you are different, this is different. Okay. So, and then this difference, this diversity, due to that ignorance, causes suffering, causes chaos, causes stress, anxiety, fear of death. Everything comes into the mind. The conditioned states of consciousness are there, the waker state, dreamer state, and the deep sleep state. We keep fluctuating between these 3 states. And we have discussed in detail in the previous lectures. This is how the Jivatma lives. But when the Jivatma progresses, reaches the second stage, which is field of no experience is there. In this place, what is happening is, there are objects you are seeing, and there is a subject which is there, but there is no contact of it. You are realizing that I am everywhere. Okay. Tree is also me. That dog is also me. So you are seeing yourself, your reflection in everything there. So this is the stage of field of no experience. Because object and subject you are seeing, that is a plant and this is me. So there are 2, but that experience you are not coming because A is equal to B. A, B, C, D. A is equal to B, A is equal to C, A is equal to D in the mathematic terms. This is the state of self-realization. Okay. This is the stage of self-realization. And this is where the nothingness is there. No experience means nothingness. And this comes in Buddhism, this has come as a Shunyavad, zero theory which has come there. Nothingness, zero. But what Vedanta is telling, this is also not the final state. The final state is beyond that, where there is no object, there is no subject. Only subject, one thing is there. Rest, everything is mithya. Rest, everything is maya. Everywhere. Everywhere there is A. There is no B, there is no C. There is no question of A equals to B. B is the reflection of A, C is the reflection of A, D is the reflection of A. Eventually, it is A only. This is field beyond experience, which is there, which is Brahma, which is oneness, which is unity, which is infinity. Okay, there is no zero. It is all one single, everywhere, infinite, eternal. That is infinity. There is a slight difference of a thread between self-realization and the Brahma realization. Sadhak reaches that last stage of personality. After 21 heavens, this eternity, infiniteness is there. And when everywhere A is there can be no experience. Whether zero experience or then nothing will be there. Just one eternal peace is there. Okay. So these topics take time to understand, and we are just talking in the words. We are trying to understand the indescribable with the limitations. So it may happen that it is not going completely in our mind, but theoretically, this is how the differences are taking place. Okay. And then when this stage comes the final stage of Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. You reach that final stage of fulfillment, enlightenment. Nothing remains to be known. You turn as a Veda. You become the Gita. You become the Upanishad. Okay? You are experiencing. You are becoming the yourself is a Gita. Veda is not outside. You are the Veda. You are the Upanishad. You are the Gita. You are the Brahm. Okay? There is actually no knowledge then remains, because everywhere you are there. Everything is mithya, and mithya has no knowledge. When something that doesn't exist, its knowledge also doesn't exist. But this is realized only when the last stage happens, infinite stage happens. Brahma is realized, self is realized that way. And what you see, the logo you are seeing on every page, you are seeing this logo. This logo is also eternal. It's not creation of anybody. This is the logo which is there. It is the reflection of yourself. It is a diagram of your inner state or inner truth which is there. Okay. Like this world appears as a diagram to you, this logo is a symbol of yourself. This is the one whom we are praising. This is the one which you are actually. The water over in the logo is nothing but the reflection of symbol of purity. It is the symbol of life. Life takes birth in the water. You see in the mother's womb, the embryo, the fetus is in the water. That's where the fetus develops. The initial development takes place in the water. When we go through the evolution of this universe, which science describes, it says that life first took its wings in the water only, and then came onto the land, came onto the earth. Because earth is the element which is now created out of water. So water symbolizes life, it symbolizes prosperity, it symbolizes purity into this. The swans, again, are the symbol of piousness and purity. They are used significantly used in the spiritual terms, not only in the Indian scriptures and all, even in Native American culture and other culture, there is a spiritual significance of swans are there. So in the context of this logo, these two swans represent your nadis, the Jivatma and Paramatma, Ida and Pingla, where the process of breathing, the Prana, Pana, Soham Sutre, the Soham Nad, the Soham Sutra is going on. Left nostril, which is Ida, right nostril, which is Pingla. Through this process of breathing, the life breathes inside you. Every cell is then breathing inside you. Every cell is there. So where the duality is there of Jivatma and Paramatma, what we just saw in the last slide. So the purification happens through this two things. Two swans are like helping you to purify with the help of that sutra of Soham. And you can see their necks are intertwined. They are not separate. They are intertwined, okay, with each other. So again, it has a very significance in the Tantra Shastra. This is called as Hansa Melan. Hansa Melan means state of yoga, state of union, uniting, duality into singularity. They are all intertwined with each other. If you see how on the chakras thing, these nadis will cross each other, okay, intertwined with each other. So that is the reflection of how the nadis are intertwined. They are reflected as two snakes also sometimes, these nadis, in the Tantra Shastra. So this is, you see the double helical structure of DNA, that is also like this. It is intertwined, it crosses each other. So in the physical scientific world, it is DNA. This is the spiritual DNA reflection inside you in the form of energy, nadis, like that. Infinity symbol is also, you see how it crosses, it intertwines each other. These swans take you with this process of purification to that infinite goal, eternal infinite bliss. And then when the purification happens, you see the third one, which is represented as trident, is the third nadi, which is the Sushumna channel, in which your consciousness is growing to the different dimensions. Awareness is growing. The waker, the dreamer, the deep sleeper, and the Turiya, eventually, the transcendental state of consciousness. That is represented by the trident. The drum represents the Nad, the Damru, which you see here at the throat chakra. Here you have, which is helping you the Nad. Okay, that represents that. And then the three parts of the Trishul trident represents the three gunas, sattva, raj, tamas, or you can say the three states of consciousness. So you are with this damru, with this nad and purification of soham, you transcend the three states of gunas, three gunas. The triguna prakriti, you transcend into that. And then the whole light of knowledge that falls on you. Okay. You get out of the cycle of suffering. That's how it represents. So there is various things. This logo has 5 colors. 5 colors represents the 5 elements. Okay. Inside you see orange is there, blue is there, white is there, golden color is, you can see there, pink color you can see. These 5 are representation of the 5 elements. So I think this is how we will finish this chapter with this beautiful journey we have done, and we will do the prayer of this prayer, and we will pray. Everybody will pray that we all be walking on this, treading this path. The entire humanity, let it tread on this path, develop the human quality. This world will be a totally different place once that happens. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति shanti. Wishing all of you a very happy Diwali. Please celebrate with joy. May the light of Diwali guide us, inside us, and help us travel on this path. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anurag.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anurag sir.
Thank you, Anurag.